Okay, for those of you who did turn in your warm-up and tried and your score was not a 70 or above and you want to redo it, here's your chance to copy this down on a sheet of paper, put warm-up 4 on it, and turn it into your teacher next week, and we will change your grade. Number 1, you're adding decimals, so you want to line up your decimals. And then you're just going to add. So 3 plus 5 is 8, plus 1 is 9. 4 plus 7 is 11, plus 8 is 19. Carry the 1. 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 0 is 6. So your answer for number 1 was 6 and 99 hundredths, or if you chose the dollar sign, it was $6.99. Okay, number 2, you were subtracting decimals. So again, since I'm adding and subtracting, I'm going to line up my decimals. But this time I'm missing some spaces, so I'm going to put a 0 for my placeholders. Now I'm just going to divide. 0 minus 7 I cannot do, so I have to borrow. 10 minus 7 is 3. 0 minus 2 I cannot do, so I have to borrow. But bring it over. 10 minus 2 is 8. Bring down the decimal. 6 minus 3 is 3, and 3 minus 0 is 3. So my answer, 33 and 83 hundredths. Okay, number 3, you're multiplying decimals. I do not need to line up my decimals. I just need to multiply. So 3 times 5 is 15. 3 times 2 is 6, plus 1 is 7. 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 1 is 3. I have 2 digits behind the decimal. I have 0 digits, so 2 plus 0 is 2, so I move my decimal 1, 2 places to the right, so my answer is 36 and 75 hundredths. Number 4, you're dividing decimals, so make sure you set it up correct. 4 and 2/10 is my divisor. 2,646 is my dividend. Put my decimal right there at the end. I'm going to notice that I have a decimal divisor. I want to move it over 1 place to the right. There's no numbers here to move it, so I got to add a 0, move it 1 place to the right. So really I'm multiplying both by 10. Now I can move my decimal straight up to my quotient. I can go ahead and erase those to make it neater. Now I'm just going to divide. Does 42 go into 2? No. Does 42 go into 26? No. Does 42 go into 264? The answer is yes. So if I cover up my 4, I look at the 26. How many times would 4 go into 26? That should be 6 times. So I'm going to try 6. 6 times 2 is 12. 6 times 4 is 24, plus 1 is 25. Subtract, I get 12. Bring down the 6. Again, I'm going to cover up the 6. Look at 12. How many times does 4 go into 12? It's going to be 3 times. 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 4 is 12. I subtract. I get 0. This is where everyone made a mistake. Bring the other 0 down. 42 goes into 0 times. So my answer to this problem is 630. Okay, on the next section, you are simplifying the fractions. You can do it one of 2 ways. You can either divide it by the greatest common factor or put it in the sled and take out the greatest common factor. So I like to do the sled, so I put 14 and 18 in my sled. What will go into 14 and 18 is 2. 2 goes into 14, 7. 2 goes into 18, 9. The only thing that goes into 7 and 9 is 1. So my answer is 7/9. As I look at number 2, I put it in my sled, 18 and 36. There's a couple numbers. I can use 2, I can use 3, I can use 6, or I can use 9. I'm going to choose 9 to go into that because 1 plus 8 is 9. 3 plus 6 is 9. So 9 goes into 18 2 times. 9 goes into 36, 18. Now I can look at this and I can say 9 goes into 36 4 times. Sorry, 4. Now I can look at this and say what goes into 2 and 4? 2. 2 will go into 2 one time. 2 will go into 4 2 times. So my answer is 1/2. As I look at number 7, I put it in my sled, 20 and 25. What will go into 20 and 25? 5. 5 goes into 24 times. 5 goes into 25, 5. The only thing that goes into 4 and 5 is 1. So my answer is 4/5. Number 8, again, I have 63, 81. I'm going to look at that. Again, 6 plus 3 is 9. 8 plus 1 is 9. So I'm going to start with 9. 9 will go into 63 7 times. 9 will go into 81 9 times. The only thing that goes into 7 and 9 is 1. So my answer is 7/9. When I look at number 9, I put it in the sled, 9 and 12. What will go into 9 and 12? 3. 3 goes into 9 3 times. 3 will go into 12 4 times. The only thing that goes into 3 and 4 is 1. So I'm done. 3/4. I helped everyone in class on number 10, 17, and 51. Now 17 is a prime number, so the only thing that would go into 17 is 1 in itself. So 17 would go into 17 one time, and 17 would go into 51 3 times. So my answer is 1/3. Okay, number 11. Okay, number 11, I'm going to put it in my sled, 8 and 18. I can use 2 to go into this, so I'm going to say 2 goes into 8 4 times, 2 goes into 18 9 times, so my answer is 4/9 since 1 is the only thing that goes into it. Number 12, I'm going to put it in the sled, 4 and 30. They're both even, so I'm going to use 2. 2 goes into 4 2 times, 2 goes into 30 15. The only thing that goes into 2 and 15 is 1, so I'm done. So my answer is 2/15. Number 13, put it in my sled, 2 12s. They're both even. 2 goes into 2 one time. 2 goes into 12 6 times. So my answer is 1/6. Okay, number 14, a word problem. Lauren buys dog food every 4 days, cat food every 5 days. If she buys both kinds of food, when will she buy it next? It's something repeating, so that tells me I'm doing my least common multiple. So as I do my least common multiple, I'm going to put it in the sled, 4 and 5. What goes into 4 and 5? The only thing that goes into 4 and 5 is 1. Now GCF is to the left. LCM is all of them. So I'm going to multiply 1 times 4 times 5. So the next time she's going to buy both will be 20 days. Okay, number 15. Eggs are sold in packages of 12. English muffins sold in packages of 6. What's the least number package of each that can be bought to have and make an egg sandwich? So if I put 12 and 6 inside my sled, this is my eggs, this is my English muffins. What would go into 12 and 6? I can use 2, I can use 3, I can use 6. So I'm going to start with 6. 6 goes into 12 2 times, 6 goes into 6 1 time. So at this point, I am done. Since I'm finding least common multiple, I know there can be 1 package of eggs, 2 packages of muffins. So my least common multiple to make the sandwich is 6 times 2 times 1, which is 12 sandwiches. Okay, number 16, concert ticket. Ticket sales for a concert totaled $77,778. Tickets for the concert cost $18. How many tickets were sold? So I want to find out how many tickets are sold. I'm going to do some division. So I'm going to put $77,778 in my box, and I know it's $18. So now I'm going to go ahead and start dividing. Does 18 go into 7? No. Bring down. With 18 going to 77, the answer is yes. It should be 4 times. 4 times 8 is 32. 4 times 1 plus 3 is 7. 72, 5. Bring down the 7. Does 18 go into 57? The answer is yes. It's going to be 3 times. 3 times 8 is 24. Plus 3 times 1 plus 2 is 5. Subtract 3. Bring down the 7. Will 18 go into 37? The answer is yes, 2. 2 times 8 is 16. 2 times 1 plus 1 is 3. Subtract. Bring down. Does 18 go into 18? The answer is yes, 1 time. And that's my answer, 4,321 tickets. Make sure you copy this down and turn it into your teacher next week.